It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Hi, YouTube. It's your girl, Jasmine. We're coming up here. I'm coming up here to discuss love and marriage, Huntsville. So, this is actually my first time reviewing the show. I've actually watched all of the seasons, all of the episodes, but I just never reviewed it. And then I kind of wanted to review season 3, but I was like, by the time I think I wanted to review it, not that it was too late, but it was already like a lot of episodes out. So I decided to wait for season 4. So season 4 is out. Now, I used to live in Birmingham. So I lived in Birmingham when season 1 came out, which was like, how long ago? 4 or 5 years ago? No, like 3 or 4 years ago. So another show used to come on before Love and Marriage, Huntsville. Oh, Ready to Love, I think. Yeah, Ready to Love. And I would try to get into Love and Marriage, Huntsville, but I couldn't. But then, right before season 3 came out, Funky Dineva did an interview with Melody. And I love Funky Dineva. So I saw the interview with Melody, and they were talking about like everything that had gone on and like the upcoming season 3. So then I went and watched all the episodes. Season 1, 2, and then season 3 came out. I knew everything. I was caught all up. Anyway, so now season 4 is out, so we about to discuss season 4. Which I think episode 1 was a really good episode. I think it tied up like any loose ends that we might have had or whatever. Excuse me, I'm hungry. And I'm about to go to the gym, so I can't be hungry at the gym. Normally I eat a banana before my workout. But the thing is, it's 11:39. And truth be told, I don't know if I'm going to go to the gym after this video or if I'm going to go like at 3:30. So just in case I don't go after this video, I'm eating this orange and then I'm going to have some tuna. And then I'll decide if I'm going to go to the gym. And if I wait until 3:30, then I have a banana before I go to the gym. Off topic. All right, so I feel like this episode, like, just tied up the loose ends from the reunion. So the episode opened up with Tisha and Marceau. They were talking about the photo that Marceau posted. Everybody at this point, if you watch Love and Marriage Huntsville, you know. So the photo of Maurice and Martel and Marceau and the other guy, I guess their other brother in Atlanta, yada, yada, yada. So they were discussing that. Tisha was just giving her opinion on it. Like, I feel like Marceau has said something about Tisha. And Tisha clapped back on Marceau by talking about that picture. Like, well, you're messy posting that picture, yada, yada, yada. So I feel like, I'm thinking. So they were at dinner talking about the picture. And then they got into how Marceau went to Africa by himself. He didn't want Tisha going with him. Yada, yada, yada. Now, I'm thinking. When I think about it, it's like, I don't see a problem with that. I think every adult, man or female, man or woman, male or female, everybody needs their alone time. If I want to go on a trip without my partner, cool. I feel like my partner should be like, cool. If my partner wants to go on a trip without me, I feel like I'm going to be like, cool. Everybody needs their own time outside of their relationship. So Marceau went to Africa. Tisha felt like, well, because it's a place I haven't been and you haven't been, we should have experienced it together, which I can also agree with that. So maybe she feels like you should have picked a place where they've, where maybe they've already been, or like, somewhere else. I don't really know what she wanted out of that particular situation, but I'm curious. Oh, because Marceau felt like he had been like depressed and he had like a lot going on. So he just wanted to take that trip. So, you know, I think that was good for him. I think their conversation at the dinner table, it seemed really real, authentic, and genuine. Tisha seems to have really grown a lot in the sense of like speaking up in her marriage. And Marceau, I feel like he listens now. I still feel like Marceau isn't about the bullshit, which I really, really love about Marceau. I feel like I really love that. I love that he doesn't really pay attention to the internet and social media, or, you know, I don't really know if he reads the stuff, but if he does read it, I like that it doesn't faze him, because in this day and age and the world that we live in, like everything is based on social media. And to see someone like really not care and try to like help their wife not feed into that stuff, I really commend him for that. So I'm actually a fan of Marceau. A fan in the sense of I like that aspect about him. And I really like Letitia as well. So yeah, I think that their conversation was, like I said, real authentic, and it was genuine. And I feel like the stuff that they were talking about, you can like definitely, everyday couples can see that. Everyday people in marriages probably can feel that and understand that. So I really like that scene. Then it moved on to Kimmy and Maurice. They too were talking about the picture. Kimmy pretty much just wanted to get across to Maurice, like, did you sleep with the linebacker? And I feel like Maurice was just not directly answering the question. Like, I think at one point he did, but it was like he was still dancing around instead of just being direct, which I like how I really love how Kimmy communicates. And she was like, I'm asking you directly. So I think she knew, obviously she knows her husband. She knew that he was dancing around and not giving an exact direct answer. So she's like, okay, I'm asking you directly. Did you do X, Y, and Z? So that was interesting. I didn't like that scene just because I felt like, as to where Kimmy was being serious, not that Maurice was playing, but like he just was like, well, I don't care. And then Kimmy had to explain to him why he should care and how it affects her and how whatever Marceau does affects Letitia and yada, 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 which I truly agree with as well. I agree with the sense, like, if my boyfriend does something outside of this house, it doesn't even have to be cheating, but anything negative, how it can affect me as well, or even your children. Like when your children go to school and act up, it does affect you as a parent, because it can make people wonder, well, how are you raising your child? What kind of parent are you? It makes one believe that things aren't the way they should be. And although, yeah, you may not care what people say, you just don't want that type of stigma on your household, you know? So I totally understand. I think I agree with Kimmy when she says what Marceau and Maurice do, it does affect them, Kimmy and Letitia, as wives. I totally agree with that, because just because you don't read the comments and just because you don't, care, Kimmy may care, Letitia may care. Letitia may or may not read the comments. Kimmy may or may not read the comments. So as the wife, it's going to affect me, because although you don't do it, I do it, and I don't want to have to read this or that and the other. And then the other side to that, of course, is just that, the other side to that is just that, people on social media are just going to be mean, nasty, and say things. The thing is us, like us people, us viewers, we don't know really. We only know what we see, what's shown to us, and what's speculated. So we don't really know the everyday lives of these people. So a lot of times we're speaking based on assumptions. And that's one thing I personally try not to do, and what I don't like, because don't assume anything in my relationship if it doesn't come out of my mouth directly, or based on what you heard, or somebody said that my man was here and there. So now you're going to assume this and that. But that's just the ways of the world these days. So anyways, I didn't really care for Kimmy and Marceau's conversation. It definitely was a conversation that needed to be had, but it just felt like Kimmy was more serious than Maurice, and then she had to get him to a point of severity. And then it seemed like he still didn't really get to that point. But nonetheless, moving on. I'm just hitting all the high points. So the other high points was it switched to Destiny, and Destiny was recording some music. and Letitia came to visit her. So her and Letitia started having a conversation, and she was telling Letitia how she was on public assistance and after the divorce and some of her obstacles that she had to face. So she's happy to where now she's in a place where she can start back doing her music, which I didn't know Destiny was into music or anything like that. So I'm not going to lie. It does look like this is an assumption. So Destiny could just ignore my assumption. It just looks like another person just trying to jump into music. Although she did say that she's always been into music, but it looks like, oh, just another reality star, another person off the street trying to, put out some music. What I'm personally tired of, I'm just tired of like the non-quality music that's being put out. Like we need some quality music, okay? Anyway, so Tisha and Destiny, they're having this whole big old conversation, and Destiny's telling Letitia, about how Melody felt like Destiny was talking about her to an enemy. And what I really do like about Letitia, she seems like she's a really good friend. Because she's like, what, I'm an enemy? Like, I knew that we weren't like friends, but I didn't know, like, I just thought we were cool. Like, we're not friends. And in my life, I have people like that. I have people who I'm cool with. We're not friends, but we're cool. So if I see you, I'll be like, hey, or I may, comment on your social media or, whatever. But we're not friends. Like if I'm going on a trip, I'm not going to call them up and be like, hey, you want to go here, there, or whatever, because we're not friends, but we're cool. So I totally understand Letitia when she says that although she didn't know that Melody was her enemy because she just thought that they were cool. So that's really sad too, because I really liked Melody and Letitia's friendship. So that's sad to see. And then Destiny's telling Letitia how Melody's room must have been next door to hers when they were in, I guess, filming the reunion in LA. And they maybe heard some of the stuff they were saying, or Destiny didn't really fess up to necessarily anything. She just was telling Letitia about what Melody heard. And just, updating Letitia on all the other stuff or whatever. So then scene flips, of course, and Melody and what do I think about Destiny? I think Destiny is probably like probably a good person. I think that, do I really think she was talking about Melody? I think that, she didn't know where her and Melody stood. So I don't necessarily think maybe she was saying anything negative about Melody. I think they were just probably talking about the reunion, like they said. And then, Melody name came up, and I think Melody I think Melody can be a little bit dramatic and probably heard her name and, went over there and did the whole shebang. Anyway, so then scene flip, and Melody and Kimmy, they meet up at this, looks like a little wine place because they had charcuterie and wine and stuff. And they're catching up too, and they seem like they have a really good friendship as well. But I feel like Melody's one of those people who she just is friends with who she wants to be, which, I mean, aren't we all? Like you pick and choose when you want to be involved with people. And I can't lie. Sometimes I'm like that too. I'm not like that like every single day, but sometimes I just don't want to be bothered. So I pick and choose who I want to deal with. I don't necessarily think that's a good thing or a bad thing, but as an adult, you just pick and choose what energy you want around you. And then sometimes when the energy from other people aren't on the level of energy where you need your energy to be, you kind of just have to take some steps back and block them out and just focus on, your energy, because people really can bring down your energy. When you're dealing with people who like just always got drama or, just where your way of thinking isn't how their way of thinking is, in the sense of like you're on, materialistic and I'm on growing in life. That's two totally different things, because, you get to a place where I don't care about the bags. I don't care about the shoes. I don't care about this and that. I'm focused on, being a mom. I'm focused on career. I'm focused on growth. I'm focused on, getting to the next levels, getting to where I want to be, figuring out where I want to be and working towards that. Sometimes you do get to that place and you just have to, and it's not a bad thing, you just have to venture off and, that's still going to be my friend. That's still going to be my whomever. And, you know, you get to a place where once your energy is good, you can just kind of block out that energy. You can still be friends, but, you know, when they're on their dumb stuff, you know, you can just be on your vibration, high level of vibration. Anyway, so Melody and Kimmy, they're talking, and Melody is, what's she doing? Melody is telling Kimmy about how she heard Letitia and Destiny talking about her. So she says she went and knocked on the door and was like, y'all talking about something, y'all might want to keep it down because y'all loud. I can hear you all down the hallway or whatever. So I'm curious to know what the reaction of Destiny was when Melody said that to her. I really would like to know. And Melody, they started talking about the photo or whatever, and Kimmy tells Melody that she really believes that Maurice didn't do anything. And okay, so there was a part of this scene where Kimmy was like, well, we weren't married. But I don't think Kimmy said it to deflect, but I can see how one would believe that Kimmy said it to like, be like, well, we weren't married, so maybe I'll give him a pass. And Melody was like, well, y'all were staying together. Like kind of reminding her, like, married or not, you know, you guys were together, whatever. And then Kimmy was like, well, you know, yeah, that was when we first bought our house, around the time where we met y'all, you and, you know, Martell or whatever. And Melody pretty much asked her, so like, well, if he did do something, what you're gonna do or whatever. And I think Kimmy said, if it's within our marriage, then it's a deal breaker, yada yada yada. And then Melody, she does her confessional, and she's like, I thought my man was telling the truth when he was when he said he wasn't cheating on me. And that part was like, ugh. Like, I totally understand where Melody's coming from. Like, don't believe these men, but I think Melody and Kimmy have a different mindset. Melody might still be a little, what is it called, traumatized by her situation. As to where, you know, Kimmy feels like she knows her man, she trusts him or whatever. But I can see why Melody will say that. Like, child, I believe my man too. You know, these men, they'll lie till they blue in the face, and they have people backing them up and yada, yada, yada. So that's just kind of where Melody stands on that situation. I'm curious to know what Melody thinks, actually. Not that it even matters, but I'm curious to know what she thinks went down in Atlanta. But they had a cute little conversation. Then Melody starts talking about her pajama party that she's having, how she ordering everybody black pajamas, and she tells Kimmy directly, don't bring Letitia and don't bring Destiny. This is a private event. No one's allowed. So that was cool. And then lastly, what had happened was the Scotts. So Kimmy, Tisha, Marceau, Maurice met up at their brother's house, and they were just gonna pretty much hash everything out about the photo or whatever. So they get into the conversation. Maurice and Kimmy got there after Marceau and Letitia. And they sit down for dinner, start talking, and then they bring up the picture, and Maurice and Marceau were like going a little bit back and forth talking about it. And then Kimmy tells Marceau how it affects Tisha, and Tisha says, like, you know, she reads the comments based on her mood. And I love that. I love that she said that. She said if she's in a good mood, or, you know, if her energy's good, she reads them. If she's not in a good place, she doesn't read them. And I think that that's very smart, that she's recognized when she can and when she can't read the comments on social media. So again, they're just talking about the photo. I want this photo put to rest. I want it put to bed because I'm sick of hearing about it. So yeah, they're talking about the photo. And each person is making valid points and, you know, just being adults. And one thing I will say, what I like about that scene with the Scotts, it's just people being adults. They're being adults, they're communicating, and they're, you know, it's drama, but it's not like dirty drama, you know. Nobody ain't swinging, throwing glasses or nothing like that. So this was a really good opening episode. I'm excited to review the season. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. I got to go ahead and watch Candy in the Game because I did not watch it last night. And I'm trying to get my review out before Friday, like I've been doing lately. I'm trying to get it out. So I'm about to go ahead and watch that and figure out if I'm going to this gym or if I'm going to eat my tuna fish. So anyway, y'all have a great week. Bye-bye.